Hello, Leo. How are you? I am alive and well. I've been gone for a little while. I've had a lot going on. Spiritual warfare has been bananas lately. If you've watched any of these other readings, they are all kind of resonating with each other. So I'm getting that a lot of you have. Trying to take care of yourself right now spiritually. You know, take spiritual baths when you're feeling heavy energy. Try to spiritually cleanse your house. Good spiritual hygiene, like covering your crown when you're out and about, especially if you know you're under attack right now. And that's as easy as just wearing a hat when you're outside, and especially it's somewhere like the grocery store, the mall, somewhere that's really has a lot of, you know, hectic energies. Try to do your best to protect yourself, whatever way resonates with you and your spiritual team. Anyways, you can check out my website. It's thisheartsvoyage. I make things. I have a whole shop on there, and I do personal readings, so you can check out that is thisheartsvoyage.com. At the bottom of my description, my Venmo and PayPal, if you feel called to tip me, that is greatly appreciated and helps me, you know, afford to live, which is nice. So if you guys feel called to do that, but thank you from the bottom of my heart, those that do. All right, anyways, let's see what you guys have going on, Leo. I trust that my intuition is always leading me in the right direction. So somebody needs to listen more to their intuition. There's an energy where you doubt yourself. And I get that in the past you have had gut feelings and you've ignored them and they've turned out to be right. That's kind of spirit showing you that trust your gut. Stop, you know, stop allowing your ego to make you second guess yourself, especially when you know something is true. Yeah, somebody is excited and like wanting to charge forward, could be Sagittarius energy, but it's like you're stuck. You're having a lot of like anxiety, second guessing yourself. Yeah, you really want to move forward. I mean, there's something that you're feeling really passionate towards and that makes you feel vibrant is what I'm hearing. King of Wands is typically an Aries, but it's a fire sign, masculine fire sign. So Aries, Leo, Sag. The Sun is your card. The Sun is like illumination, blessings, divine light. It's also like, it can be like a pregnancy, baby, childhood. Somebody has met an Empress here, and you're starting to recognize, you're starting to see that it's a divine feminine energy. You're starting to see this person for who they truly are. And I get that you connect with them on like it's like a childhood level. You've had similar childhoods to this person, or just being around them, you feel safe. It's like they speak to your inner child almost. You have a lot of fun. It's a divine masculine here towards a divine feminine. Somebody has Cancer in their chart. Aquarius as well. Yeah, it's like you're moving forward and balancing the light and dark within you. I get for some of you, you've resonated with like your shadow for a really long time, especially when it comes to your community. I feel like a lot of people do this when they're young. Especially if you're somebody that has had like mental health problems, especially like depression. I feel like a lot of people that have struggled with depression can get to a point where you've struggled with darkness for so long that you feel very comfortable in darkness. And it's almost like, you know, you'll be comfortable in unhealthy, abusive situations and addictions. And it's because you just kind of feel that's where you've been for so long. It almost becomes like your self-harm becomes like a comfort blanket. But I get here that you've met somebody, and this is a masculine. Doesn't have to be a man. It's a masculine energy. You've met a divine feminine here that it's like this person has brought out your inner child, and they make you feel safe around them. And it also has helped you kind of connect more with who you were outside of your shadow, because it's like your shadow is really brought out by the people that you spend a lot of time with. You see the way that the shadow part of the chariot, chariot is unstoppable movement forward, but it's balancing the light and dark. The dark is pointed over at your community. So you have a lot of friends, you have people that you spend time with that resonate with the darker parts of yourself. And you're starting to connect more with the light here. And it has to do a lot with your childhood. Somebody could have experienced a lot of trauma in their childhood, and it made you kind of bitter almost. It's just like you kind of just expect the worst out of people, and you've been living in a world that's kind of dark. And it's like you hang out with people that are kind of shitty, are not great. For some of you, it's from like childhood. You weren't really acknowledged in childhood. You were kind of pushed to the side. I get that it weren't acknowledged for who you were, and when you were acknowledged, it would be your parents, it'd be people. For some of you, your parents, it's almost like you inherited the darker side of your father. So I get here that it might be that your father has like an addiction, your father was an alcoholic, your father has depression. You inherited some darker, maybe some mental health problems from your father. But it's also an energy of being disconnected from your father. So it's like you spent more time with your mom, and it might have been that like your parents separated or divorced, or your dad just wasn't home very often. Your mother, you resonate a lot with your mother and kind of idolize your mother a little bit. But there's also an energy here of there's a shadow side to you that resonates more with your father, but there's a separation between you and your father. And it might even be that your mother kind of held that against you. You know, anytime that you were acting out, it was you're being, you remind me of your father when you act like that, as an insult. So there's a weird energy here where you resonate more with your darker side. But I get that for some of you, it's like your mother is kind of a toxic, positive sort of person. And she tries to hold on to you. For some of you, you might be financially dependent on the mother energy. You're wanting to communicate with somebody. You're wanting a new beginning with them, a new beginning in love. Again, I'm saying again, because this came up in, I believe, Aries, but could have been Taurus. A lot of people are watching multiple, I can feel it. Because a lot of the energy is being carried. Something happened during Aquarius season that changed things for you. It might have been that you met this person during Aquarius season. They're in Aquarius. They have an Aquarian energy where this divine feminine that the masculine met, they have a very healing aura to them. And I also get that they're very progressive when it comes to how they view other people, because Aquarian is like a love for humanity. Which is funny because Aquarian people tend to be kind of introverted and to be very opinionated and egotistical, and they struggle with people sometimes, people's skills, but it's like they have a love of humanity as a whole. That's your sister sign. So if you were to be a Leo rising, that would be your 7th house of like partnership. Yeah, you have romantic feelings towards the divine feminine, or if you're the feminine, this person has romantic feelings towards you, but they have a tendency to hold on to bad habits. And they have a lot of bad influences in their life, and they don't, it's funny, it's a trust my intuition. Your ego overrides your intuition. So it's almost like you get gut feelings about stuff. And then, especially for a Cancer placement or a Pisces, you get gut feelings and then you ignore them. And it's led you to a lot of bad influences. You've found yourself in like wrong place, wrong time, wrong people a lot. And you allow these people to influence you too much. I'm telling you, for a lot of you, it's childhood. You have problems occurred in your childhood. There was a disconnection between you and the father, but you resonate with the father's shadow. And your mother, some of you put your mom on like a pedestal here and feel like your mom is all good. And you don't recognize the way that holds you back. Because it's almost like you're not, it's a weird energy because you're somebody, or they are the Leo here. It's like they have a strong shadow side to them. And they deal with a lot of people that bring out the worst in them. But there's also an energy of kind of like faking it around their mom. And their mom babies them and tries to keep them from moving forward. And it's because your mom feels like you don't make good decisions on your own. Lord. And you don't, is the thing. You see comfort in bad habits. So it's like you have fated events here that are going to help heal you and that are going to bring, with Jupiter, a lot of good luck and expansion into your life. But there's an energy of making bad choices because you don't follow your intuition. It's a soulmate connection here. It could be a Pisces. 12th house, past lives. You've had past lives with this Empress. That's why you feel so connected with the Empress, the divine feminine, and they bring out your childhood. And it might be that this person reminds you of your mom, but I get here that they share your darkness though. For some of you like can see yourself marrying and having kids with this person. You might even like fantasize about like getting them pregnant. Yeah, my intuition is right for some of you. It's because you see them as very confident and you feel like if you were to attach yourself to them, that would improve your confidence. But you have bad influences in your life here. Yeah, you miss this person a lot, but you're holding back from them because people around you are like, oh no, you need to do this, you need to do that. Stop listening to what other people tell you to do and do what your intuition is telling you to do. You're giving this person the silent treatment. You're avoiding talking to them. So you want to talk to them. You want to ask for a new beginning. You want to ask them on a date. You want to romance them, but you're ghosting them. Okay, that makes sense. Sure. Why not? Keep in mind that you have a lot of shitty friends. They don't have to be bad people, but they're bad influences on you. So it's like they give you shit advice and you take it. A lot of them are trying to hold you back from moving forward. People tend to not want to see you do better than them. So when you're asking somebody for advice, they're going to give you advice that would keep you on their same level. And for some people, it's not a conscious you know, trying to hold you back. For some people it is, though. And you would know who's who. Some people just are really anxious and you know, throw up their anxiety on other people, speak their fear onto other people, and it's because, you know, they feel like they've created their safe space and carved out their safe space, and you need to be in it with them. And then for some people, it's like the thought of you doing better than them in any way makes them physically ill, and they would go to war to stop it. You'll know who's who. Yeah, you need to communicate with somebody. There's an energy of needing to communicate. It's playing too many games. You play too many games, and there's like no sort of certainty. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on in this connection. Nobody knows what the hell is happening. There's an energy of like watching each other. You're sick. You're not happy in where you are right now, Leo. They're not happy. They have a lot of unhealthy attachments, and they recognize that. And they're starting to see through the people around them. For some of them, their mother is like latched onto them, and it's like, it's irritating for them. They're starting to see that the people around them, especially a mother energy, does not want them to do better for themselves, does not want them to make decisions on their own. And even though this person is a grown man or woman, the mother feels like she needs to make all the choices for this person, because if they make any choices for themselves, something's going to go wrong. This connection is not over with this person. There is a new beginning coming, but there's a karmic here. For some of you, there's a karmic that's like blocking your money. For some of you, there's a soulmate, and there's also a twin flame. And it might be that the Empress has a twin flame that they're finding independence from, because it's a karmic lesson for them. I don't know. Also could be that there's a twin flame connection here, but there's a karmic soulmate that's in the mix. I don't know. I don't know what's your story. Don't ask me. This is not a personal reading. This is a general reading for anybody that watches this. And not everybody that watches this has the same life circumstances and situation going on. So I can't tell you what. There's a twin flame energy. If it's not a twin flame, though, because this card is mirroring each other. So it is possible that it is a soulmate connection, but you mirror each other. It can be like a strong soulmate connection where, you know, you're finding independence from a karmic connection, and they are finding independence in some way, and you're mirroring that back to each other. But there is an energy here that contact needs to happen, and somebody is thinking about it. It's heavy on their mind, but they're not reaching out. Rather than reaching out, they are giving the other person the silent treatment. They're ghosting them. If there's conversation, it's like touch and go, because somebody has really bad influences in their life, and they allow other people to mislead them. And the first card said it all. You need to follow your own intuition and stop allowing your own fears and the fears other people try to speak onto you control your life here. And if you're a grown adult, don't allow your parents to influence you, because that's not the life that you want. Do you want the same life? That's how I view it. Is I have people give me advice, and sometimes, you know, I want advice and I appreciate it, but I usually take the advice of others as like a grain of salt, because I personally believe that I have such a strange life. And I'm such an odd, different type of person that, like, your life is not going to mirror mine. So as much as like your advice sometimes is unwanted, but sometimes it's appreciated, and sometimes I need to hear the viewpoints of others. At the end of the day, I am the captain of my own ship, because none of you have lives, no offense, but none of you have lives that I want. I have never met another person that it's like, I want their life. I want my own life, and I want to find my own path. And, you know, like I said, sometimes other people's thoughts and opinions are appreciated, and sometimes it's really not. Especially when your gut is telling you to do something that kind of requires you to take a leap of faith. I don't need everybody to tell me about how they wouldn't do it, because it's not an opportunity that you have to begin with. So, of course you wouldn't. It's not yours, you know? I don't know. That can kind of come off a little harsh, but that's really how I feel. And I'm not saying, like, if you give me advice, I'm pissed off at you. I'm saying that I listen to other people's advice, but I'm never going to take somebody else's advice and like follow it to a T, because they're not me and I'm not them, and we're on different life paths. So I don't expect them to be able to handle a situation that's happening in my life, because they have not had my life, you know? Anyways, Leo, I hope that was helpful. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.